But we got to move on, though, man, because I've been waiting for this topic on, boy. It's the rejects of the week, everybody. Thank y'all for sticking with us, man. The rejects. These guys ain't there's no reject to this week. There are 3 different dummies that are getting rejects of the week because they just don't know how to behave, handle themselves. They are doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing and watching what you say, behaving, keeping yourself safe and not putting yourself into trouble and getting away from the law. Not cheating, all right? Don't be cheating. You know, the things that we were told as kids to not do, these 3 groups of people all of a sudden said, nah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So guess what happens? They all get the rejects of the week. They all deserve to be on this platform to be talked shit about because you guys are just idiots. Straight up idiots. But, oh man, let me explain to you why they're idiots. The first man on the board is none other than Shy Dummy LaBeouf. All right? This guy over here decided to enjoy himself at Mardi Gras. And then all of a sudden, you go to Mardi Gras, old man. I know it's a fun area. I know the idea of Mardi Gras is the emphasis to drink, have fun, share some beads, see some chi-chis, and have a great time, right? But if you are a well-established
You're asking
actor,
me like if I've been to Mardi Gras. Old man never been to Mardi Gras.
but old man loves
Whoever that guy was,
no. Old man, you have that on your bucket
whoever that
list. Don't do that,
that was old man's evil twin, young man.
young man. Young man.
The more successful version of me, you know?
Yeah, huh. Now in general, that's what you want to do. So what happened, old man? Shia LaBeouf goes to Mardi Gras. He gets into a fight. Let me explain this properly. He gets into a fight with a staff member at a bar. The staff member escorted him out the bar. Shy becomes more aggressive, starts hitting this staff member. Shy leaves the bar, but then returns a little bit later and starts trouble with random people outside the bar. Starts fighting these random people. These are just people outside that bar. He's talking shit. He's throwing fades. He wants to throw a punch or two. He's slapping around. He's talking shit while he's doing that. And he gets his ass whooped. They all said, you know what? Let's just jump this guy because he came back by himself. We're all there. There's a video out there. We're not definitely going to post it up, but it is out there on TMZ when they reported the news where he is on the ground and he's getting pummeled. He's getting punched. He's getting slapped, but they are telling him to stay down. Don't get up. Wait until the police get there and just let it be. They're tired of his antics. And what happens to Shia LaBeouf? He goes to jail. He spends the night in jail, currently charged with 2 counts of simple battery, and is now dealing with these legal issues while he's there. But that just wasn't it, old man. That's just not it. The next day he gets out of jail. He goes back to Mardi Gras and spends his time there the rest of the week. He does behave himself. He is he is seen with random fans, hugging, kissing, having some fun in a freaking restaurant, having some drinks, talking shit. But he doesn't put his hands on anybody. He just looks, oh man, he looks depressed. He looks like his, mental state of just, I want to be normal, but he's a high profile man. And now currently, whatever production crew that he was supposed to be recording with for a movie, as well as upcoming movie for the Return of the Transformers, may be in jeopardy. So, old man, he gets rejects of the week. Do you have any advice for Mr. Shia LaBeouf?
Well, best thing to tell him is, dude, I've always had that feeling that I can't even do nothing. Honestly, old man can't tell nothing to this guy. This guy looks like,
yeah.
I feel like because he was an actor, I feel like, because he was a big shot back in the day,
Right.
He has a mentality that he should be the big shot that he was. That he should have been where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
But look at actions like this is what causes him to drop down.
Facts.
You're not gonna, it's hard. It's gonna be hard for you to become the megastar you were.
Yeah.
And you were at the top. You made some good films, but at some point, man, allowed your stardom to get to your head, and then you
Mm-hmm.
became egotistical.
Right.
Look at the fact that you got the other guy who followed your steps after you, who did the Flash movie, who's also been blacklisted.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the same thing. It's people who allowed the superstar to get to them and
Yeah.
got the best of them, and now once again, who knows if you're gonna be in the Transformers movie or not?
Yeah.
And I remember when people were telling me he should be the next Robin, I was like, no. Look at the Flash. I was like, no, no,
Yeah.
keep him away from Robin.
Yeah.
Make him anything, make him a villain. Because villains, they only appear once, they get killed off, you don't see them again.
Right. You can do a phenomenal appearance, and yeah, you can do 2 other projects afterwards, but hey, you can't come back and return this character. Go ahead.
No. So I'm gonna tell the best thing to do is right now, sit back, look at your actions. If you want to try to be the hardest star you were back in the day, you got to let this ego go. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta, instead of trying to say, I want this movie should be the way I want it to be, everything should be the way I want it to be,
Right.
you should let
Yeah.
into everything the way it is and follow with it.
Right.
Look at the
Right.
fact that you just had a fight with people. You didn't let it go. You had to go back because you wanted to make sure that people know who you were. Well, dude, we know you were. You were on the
Right.
floor.
Yeah.
You went to jail, and probably you might have paid your bail to get out. That's wrong with your little paper showing people, look, I got out.
Right.
But you
Right.
behaved yourself, which means, one, you didn't want to scrap no more because
You got your
you
ass
didn't
whooped.
want to smoke. Yeah.
Right. Right.
And you might say, oh, it's because multiple people joined me, but it's because you probably started a fight with multiple people.
It seemed like it did. That's
There's
correct.
So people, all of them went and got their lick. It's not like
Yeah.
if you just. So I'm pretty sure you might have just punched them all at once and said, "All right, who wants them?" And they all said me.
Yeah. It's just yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So
Oh,
that's
okay. Okay. It sucks. It's freaking. It just sucks. Oh man, this guy was phenomenal. Even Stevens, bro, that was a great Disney show back then. Even Stevens. Oh my god, Transformers. That was his. That was his. Coming into Hollywood and becoming a great actor. And he is a phenomenal actor. I loved him in Fury. It's sad to see where this comes about. And oh man, it advice when it comes to like being a celebrity, and if you want to participate in these type of activities, you're a celebrity, right? Wouldn't you think it'd be better for him to get the balcony, keep him, let me rent out this balcony with the rest of my team and have control of this atmosphere? I can still get lit, I can still drink, I can still have fun, and interact with the fans on the floor and talk your shit or whatever case would be that you need to. But at least this way, it keeps you on barricaded in a safe location, and in order for to have some fun. Don't you think that would have been a good idea?
yeah, but people want to be in spotlight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the
Yep.
thing. But you
Yep.
choose the wrong spotlight. You
Facts.
choose a spotlight where people remember you now, not for the movies you made, but
Yep.
for being the guy that just got his ass kicked.
Yep. Yep. Just don't know when to quit.
Hmm.
Agree with you
That's
on that one.
pretty much it.
Yep. Now keeping on that, don't know when to quit. Oh man, Mr. Dean the Great. He just don't know when to keep his mouth shut. All right. I love that little segment. I love how we ended with that. The man don't know when to quit. This motherfucker right here, he definitely doesn't know when to quit. He don't know when to keep his mouth shut and watch what he says in front of people and act like nothing ain't gonna happen. He really don't. Now, yeah, he trains as a boxer. He does his thing. He likes to, interact, be a social media star. He's a streamer. Old man. This gentleman is a streamer. He does get himself out there and have, these celebrity boxing fights under these umbrellas of MVB promotions, and if not, and other promotions in that platform of fighting some people and stuff. He's trained. He can scrap. He got some hands. But when you're messing with a big bodybuilder who's also trained how to fight, and then at that too, a former UFC fighter, veteran, and talk their shit in front of them, do you really think they're not going to do something about it? Nope. They did something about it, old man. As you see the picture on the left, he gets slapped. The picture on the right, he gets elbowed within 24 hours of each other, old man. So let me explain what happened to the first one on the left-hand side with this big bodybuilder. During the live stream, old man, he is with Quentin Rampage. Do you remember him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Quentin Rampage has become a streamer all of a sudden. He's great interaction with the fans. So Dean the Great decides to join him on his streaming service and cross platforms with each other. Have some fun with Larry Wheels. They were just training at a little gym prior to. They were seen wrestling and doing their thing. Larry Wheels decided to kind of spin him as a helicopter like Cesaro used to do with people, except instead of the feet, he did it with the hands. Spun around a little bit, playful, whatever case would be. But they go to a restaurant. Larry brings his wife. Dean decides to drink a little bit extra, starts talking shit aggressively, right? He gets very aggressively, tends to flirt with Larry's wife. He tends to interact and talk some shit to Larry. So Dean continued to be disrespectful even after when Larry said, watch your mouth, be careful, as well as Rampage on repeated occasions. Watch your mouth, be careful, or else he's going to do something. You can't treat a person like this. You can't treat a gentleman his caliber like this and expect nothing to happen. So what does Dean do? As he's continuing to be disrespectful, he attempts to touch his wife, hug his wife, and then during this mixture, well, Larry decides to say, enough is enough, right across the face. He decides to give him the 5 fingers to the face, just like what Mr. Chris, sorry, not Chris. Yeah, Dave Chappelle. My apologies. Dave Chappelle did in his one skit before when he came to Charlie Murphy. What does 5 fingers say to the face? Right across. And that's what happened. That's what Larry did. He said, what did 5 fingers say to the face? Right across that face and gave him a nice little swollen, right? Now, it wasn't just enough. It wasn't just enough. Earlier the next day, Rampage brings him back on the platform and tells Dean, apologize to him. You got a little lit. Dean said, you're right. I did get a little lit, but it hurts. I'm going to fight him. They're playful talking, it seems like, whatever case to be. But Rampage makes them shake their hands, squash the beef, understand you were disrespectful. You crossed the line. Any other man would have fucked you up. This gentleman, luckily enough, decided just to slap you into consciousness and say, relax yourself, right? So, shake hands, let it be. Later on the same day, Rampage has a party. He has multiple people over there enjoying themselves, having a great time, all this and this and that. Now, Dean comes across Mr. Tiki Golson. Tiki Golson is currently one of Rampage's managers, not just general manager, but a manager, if I'm not mistaken, to like his fight crew or whatever case to be. Sees them outside enjoying themselves as they're enjoying some drinks here and there. Dean decides to get mouthy again. He didn't learn his lesson the first time. Second time around, he gets his mouth into trouble one more again. Hey, I know who you are. I know you've been. You talking your shit. I'll knock your ass out. This and that. Mr. Tiki says, oh, for real? You knock me out? Dean walks by. Tiki says, clock him with an elbow right to, as you see right there, right across the face. Knocks him down. He gets knocked down. He starts to want to pretend like he can scrap a little bit against him, and didn't nothing happen, man. This sucks. Now all of a sudden you see Dean the Great on his live stream with a neck brace and some ice on his face, talking about he got his ass. He's like, I want to fight. I want to fight Tiki. I want to go against him in the main event. I want to fight in one of these little MMA fights or whatever. Talking about I'm going to beat you, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dean. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Now, old man, the only advice that I could tell Dean is, like we just said at the beginning of this explanation of what occurred to his dumbass, watch your mouth. Watch what you say. You can't saying stuff like the way you're saying it and expect no one to do anything about it. Plain and simple. You don't cross the boundary of touching another man's wife after multiple warnings to you. You definitely don't talk shit to a former UFC fighter saying that you'll beat his ass in front of his face and be aggressive about it and expect that UFC fighter not to do nothing about it. He will literally mollywop you all over the floor and show you a good time. Just saying. So that is my 2 cents. That's my advice for you, Dean. If you don't listen, oh well. If you do, thank God, because your ass does not want to keep ending up on social media showing your ass getting beat. Plain and simple. Oh man, any advice to Mr. Dean the Great?
Lay out the booze. You
Hey.
can't handle the drinks. You can't handle the swings. I mean, come on.
That's true. That is true. I'll give you that. If he wasn't drinking, I do believe he probably different. Now, mind you, this is the same fighter that was talking shit to one of Fernando Vargas's children. Do you remember the fight that happened, the little celebrity fight between Armando and another fighter? This is that fighter, old man. This is the guy. This is the guy who was talking shit to Armando and saying, "Man, I'll tell your mama to make some tortillas or some bullshit like that." Talking shit about his mama, talking shit about his girl, whatever case it be. This is that fighter that was talking the shit. So, I don't know. He's just that guy. But yes, being on substances like alcohol like that, it's only gonna get it worse. And as a person, you gotta watch what you say. You gotta understand. You gotta be careful. Now I know. Why do I need to watch what I say? I'll say what I want. Whatever, man. You want to say what you want? Here's the repercussions. These are the repercussions right here. This is what's gonna happen to you on a day-to-day basis if you can't stop. So that's what happens.
I mean, if you look at the dictionary of like fuck around and find out, I think his face is gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Agreed.
the thing is, I think one, it might have became popular if it had a new streaming service or Rampage streaming service.
Right.
It became a popular video to watch
Yeah.
because people are all watching and saying this guy went stepped overboard and he got what he deserved and blah blah blah.
Yep.
Second time around, same thing again. He opened his mouth, told old guy, "I can beat you." Old guy just whopped him with a quick elbow and said, "Here, beat that."
Yeah. For real.
So in both instances, and here's the thing about, here's the thing I hate about lawsuits is the guy got punched and slapped. He could go sue them.
Facts. Which he did talk
Man,
about.
I'm hoping that, yeah, I'm hoping that whoever is the jury or judge looks at the video and says, you instigated it.
Exactly.
There should be a law about instigation. Like if you provoke it, you should be the one being sued for provoking this.
Correct. Like a counter
They
suit on
didn't
that
ask
part.
for it.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be me as one, you're defending the girl. He was trying to touch his wife, he was trying to hug his wife. So that's pretty much already sexually harassment in a way.
Correct.
Because what he said to her was, she's fair game.
Exactly.
When did Larry said, hey, my wife's fair game? I don't recall. I don't think Larry ever said it. Rampage told him, hey, watch what you're saying. It's gonna get to the point where he already met, he got slapped by Larry. He got elbowed by this other guy. He's waiting for Rampage, I believe. I think he needs a trilogy,
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, you not only do you have to lay off the booze, you have to, one, put your, again, like I told Shia LaBeouf, I'm gonna tell him, put your ego in check. Check your ego.
Check your ego out the door, man. Dead ass.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. All right, old man.
Yeah.
On to the next group of idiots. There wasn't just one guy like it was the last two guys. There was multiple guys. It was a whole team, old man. Canada's curling team. All right. Just can't stop poking the stone all of a sudden here. As you see in the picture, everybody, they were caught and accused. I won't say caught because obviously I don't know what the Olympics in general have yet to decide what's going to happen. Well, actually, they did decide. But They are not facing any type of repercussions afterwards, but they were caught and they're accused of cheating in a sense, because in this specific game, have you seen this game, curling game, old man? Which I didn't even know it was called curling. Have you seen this Olympic game that's on any type of platforms at all? Have you ever seen this?
Only on the Simpsons.
So the whole point is like it's kind of like how you want to put it as how do I want to say it? So think of bowling, right?
What, a
Or
more
like darts,
safer version of hockey and bowling combined?
or hockey, yeah, hockey, bowling, and darts combined. Let's put it that way, because in darts you want to aim for the center in a sense, right? The center is always going to be what is going to cause you to have the most points, right? And the less that they have within the circles, the better for you, right? So obviously in the rules is here's a line. You have to make sure you throw before the line, and if you throw past the line or have any type of body connection past the line, you will be in trouble, correct? Well,
yeah,
Canada, as you see in the picture, just didn't understand that part. As they're throwing and letting the stone roll off the ice, this little competitor right here decides to touch it with his index finger, give it an extra push, and even then keeps the finger going all the way until it gets past the green line. Past that green line, just by a little inch. And it was this, I believe they were facing the Sweden team, and the Sweden team said, "Oh, you're cheating." They started saying all this kind of stuff. Canada's fighting back, cussing back, and I'm like, "We don't do this, we don't do that," and whatever case it be. But that is the rules. The rules are you are not supposed to touch the stone cross or after it crosses that line. Now, what happens is generally what is happening next right now is that the Olympic doesn't have any video review. They can't go back for instant replay. They won't be doing. They don't have the ability to do that in the such within the matchups. But the Olympic is aware of the circumstances. They understand what occurred, and they are reviewing all this. So the World Curling Committee, I want to say community, but it's committee. My apologies. Is meeting up about this, and they will be discussing changes and help navigate any future matchups, as well as not just for this Olympics, but moving forward for the next Olympics coming the case to be. So, Canada, you guys got a lot of heat on your butts. You guys are idiots. You shouldn't be doing that. And just please, you already made it this far. You are an Olympic team. I don't think you need to cheat to cross the finish line. Just play your game. Play, as anybody would say, play your game. Do what you do best is what you got. What got you guys got here. So why do you gotta do the extra stuff, right? Right, old man?
Yeah, old man agree.
Yeah, you're on
I'm
national
gonna put
team.
it this way. The funny thing is that you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You like paused and froze on me for a minute. I was like, oh shit, did I lose him or what?
No.
So I'm gonna put it this way. The athletic commission, like all athletes, all commissions that are out there, boxing, football, NBA, all that, they become more softer on their fighters compared to back in the old generations.
Facts.
Something like this, if this happened in 1920s, these guys would have not just been suspended, it would have been blacklisted from ever playing in the sport again.
Yep.
On a professional level.
Correct.
Oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. It didn't happen. Well, guess what? Old man knows what he's talking about because in 1920, I forgot the year, so I don't remember the year. Old man can't remember years. The old man knows. Old man's gonna give you a little history lesson. In 1920s, the White Sox went on to the World Series. The White Sox, each player except for several, decided to throw the game. And they threw the game just in order to get a little money on the side. Because they weren't getting paid enough, I believe. Well, the baseball commission found out what happened. all of those players got not just suspended, each one became blacklisted to the point where they can never play for a professional baseball team again. So here's the thing is, what I'm looking at is the reason why a lot of cheaters can get away with cheating is because you get cheat today and tomorrow they'll be like, all right, well, we're just gonna, suspend you for the next Olympics. You can come back afterwards, redeem
Yeah.
yourself.
Right.
And all you gotta do is just pay 10 grand. That's it. You're good. All of you, 10 grand. All right. Call it a day. Instead of telling them, you know what? We caught you red handed.
Mm-hmm.
You cheated.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's suspend you and revoke your license until you can prove that you are worth the professional license they gave you, or you're worth being here at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Look at old girl. Old girl became won the gold medal right now.
Mm-hmm.
They caught China spying and harassing her when she didn't want to do China. I think I'm not sure if that's the story, but she was given the chance to either do skating for China in 2022 or
Yeah.
do the U.S. team. She chose U.S. Apparently, her father and her were getting a lot of death threats over the
Mm.
phone. So she quit because of that reason. She comes back and wins the gold medal now. That, China should have been looked into on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's another form of cheating, is harassing a certain player. Look at Tanya Harding and what's her face? I forgot the name, but it was a figure skater.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is the one that gets hit. I forgot who, but one of them gets hit with the bat on her leg, and I can't remember if they still allow the other one to. I think Tanya Harding is the one who ordered the hit on the bat with the
Well,
bat on the other figure skater's leg.
yeah.
So I think they only suspended her, but they didn't blacklist her from playing from doing figure skating again.
Okay.
So that's the thing is, I feel like nowadays you need to start suspending your players for a lot more than just a simple you can't do the Olympics this year.
Right.
You had to wait another few more years. The
Right.
kind of like the 10 years that Will Smith has, where he can't be at the Academy Awards for 10 years for slapping Chris Rock.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I think that's the thing you got to do here, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. No, I agree. It's you when it's clearly seen on the video, right? And we see pictures
Hmm.
as you see right there. They literally they violated the rules on what they're supposed to do, and yet they're not facing nothing. So right now, Sweden, currently what's at stake right now, Sweden is not letting go. They are definitely advocating and definitely going to keep fighting and going to the Olympic Committee. So truly, truly, if sportsmanship, some type of punishment needs to be laid out. There's no way that you know Canada can keep continuing getting away with this, and by next Olympic turnabout, we should see a big difference. They should definitely announce some new rules and all that good stuff. That needs to be placed. Definitely beforehand. So I agree with you on that, old man. Definitely. So,
Thank you.
well,
I
you
appreciate
guys,
that.
please let us know who was the biggest idiot, who was the biggest reject out of the three groups that we just said that you guys are tuning in and watching. Because by far you can't make this stuff up, man. People still just don't learn. When you're kids, we make mistakes. We do things at some point, shape, or form that we're not supposed to do. It is what it is. But who really would have known that even when you grow up, you still do stuff you're not supposed to do and just don't learn? Well, this is what happens, especially you want to become on people of TV. You put it on TV, and this is what happens.